I'm giving up my job. I'm fasting. I'm giving up social media. I'm doing all these things so people can see. But what am I doing in the privacy of my own home when no one's watching? Come on, in public, I'm sacrificing. Look at all I'm doing. I'm giving. I'm generous. I'm showing up to serve. But when no one's watching, what's my obedience look like? Obedience is internal. Obedience shows the posture of your heart. Obedience shows where you put your trust at. Obedience shows you where your faith is at. Is your faith in you? Is your faith in your jobs? Is your faith in your bank accounts? Is your faith in your social media profile? Is your faith in your relationships? Where is your faith at? Or is your faith in the Lord? Come on, obedience is saying, I trust you, God, more than I trust me. And I'm going to show it with how I live my life. How I decide, how I walk, how I live, how I talk. And that's what he's telling him here. He's like, I don't care about these sacrifices that you brought. I care about your obedience. I care about what you didn't do. So we're wondering, like, what's happening here? Excuse me. I've been battling a cold for the last couple weeks, so bear with me. Or pray for me. What happens here in this argument? So we came in at the end of this confrontation between Samuel and Saul. And the reason why Samuel's so mad, he's coming to Saul because Saul was given a very specific task to do. Very specific. Saul was the first king of God's people. Right? He didn't ask for this crown. He was chosen. He was anointed by God through Samuel the prophet to be the first king. And in part of this process, he gets him to be king. He gives him an assignment right away. He says, this is what you need to do. I need you to go kill all the Amalekites. Wipe them all. Doesn't matter. Men, woman, cattle, babies, kings, everybody's got to go. Like God has had it with these people. And we'll get to that in a minute why. But what does Saul do? He kills everybody, but not everything. He keeps King Agag, and he keeps some livestock for himself. And then Samuel comes in and is like, well, what's going on? I thought we told you to kill everything. He's like, well, I did, mostly everything. Mostly everything that you told me, but I left a little bit. And you see this cattle over here that we kept, we're actually going to sacrifice it to God. He's like, I didn't ask you to sacrifice. I asked you to kill everything. And so that's why Samuel's so upset. And that's what led to Saul losing his crown. That's what led to Saul going from King Saul to just Saul. That's what led to Saul going from, hey, I'm the king of everything. Now I'm just Saul. Now I'm stuck in this name, this identity as just Saul. It was a small choice. Partial obedience that led to the downfall of Saul. And I think that we can relate to that in our lives. Now, there's some things that God's telling us to do, and we're only doing 95% of it, thinking that it's obedience. But we're leaving that 5% aside, saying, God, you know what? I'm just not ready to get this. And actually, God, I've actually set this over here for you. I'm doing this for a good reason, God. I'm doing everything you told me to do, but I'm not doing this. It's for a good reason. But just because it's a good reason doesn't mean it's a God reason. And I think we get those two confused sometimes. We think that this is a good idea and this is a good reason, and I should not do this over here because it's beneficial or it's pleasing to me and it's okay and everybody else is doing it, so it's not harming anybody, but God's told you, I told you to get rid of everything. Everything. And so if we want to learn anything from this, if we want to stop the cycle of making bad choices that keep us stuck, here's what we need to know. Obedience on hold is disobedience in motion. If I'm not obeying, that means the opposite is happening, which is disobedience. But we think that because I haven't done this yet, that I'm not disobeying. But if I'm not doing what God called me to do, it's still disobedience. And here's a problem with that. So we talked earlier about how the Amalekites, God was basically after him. Like, yo, God, why are you after these people? Like, why you want these people dead, I don't understand. If you go back to Deuteronomy, when the Israelites were first freed from Egypt, they were first going into the wilderness, right? Going to the promised land, right? They just got out of slavery and bondage for so many years. You can imagine how weak this population was. And they get attacked by this army called the Amalekite, or this nation called the Amalekites. And this is God's people who's being attacked when they're weak. And God's like, don't worry about that. Stay on the path I have you on. Stay on the mission that I have you on. I'm going to deal with him later. And I feel like that might be a word for somebody in here today. You're feeling attacked right now, and you're trying to get justice, and you're worried about getting back at somebody, and you're worried about them having what's right and what's right done to them. And God's telling you, like, don't worry about them. I'll take care of them. You just stay on the path that I have you on and where I have you going to, because it's much better than what you came from. And listen, that's what the enemy wants to do. He wants to distract you with the attacks around your life to get you off the focus of the promised land that God has promised you. Don't worry about them. I got them, God says. It might not happen today or where you want it, but I'm going to take care of them. The people who oppose you, I will take care of them. Let me handle that. You just keep on walking. And so we fast forward to this time, and Saul is the first king, and now he has this assignment to kill these people. And here's what happened. He spared King Agag, an Amalekite, the people who killed his ancestors. And I think that's some of us in here today. Some of us in here today are sparing something right now that's been killing and robbing your family. And now it's on your generation. It's defeated generations before you. People have succumbed to it. People have died because of it. Relationships and households have been broken because of it. And now it's on you. Now it's in your house. Now it's showing up in your town. And you're sparing it. The most beautiful thing about being a parent and getting older was realizing that mom and dad are just older people. You know, because we carry this identity of mom and dad, of like, you don't have emotions, you don't cry, right? Like you go to work and that's okay. Like you're not tired ever. You don't understand the problems I'm going through because you've never had other problems like me, mom. Like me, dad. Like you were never a teenager. You were never 20 years old. You don't know what it's like. $20 is nothing to you. I need $20. But then I got older and I realized, you know, they're just people just like me. And they're flawed. And they make mistakes. And I have grace for them because I'm flawed. And I make mistakes. And I don't get it all right. And I'm not a perfect dad. And I make fatherly mistakes. And there's things that happened in generations before you that your parents didn't get right, that you now have an opportunity to get right. You see what happened with King Agag, with Saul, he didn't just spare a king, he spared a curse. Because if you fast forward to Esther, 6 centuries later, King Agag and Saul, they meet again, but not each other personally, rather generationally. You heard of the man named Haman in Esther? Haman was this man in Esther who his name was Haman the Agagite, meaning he was from the lineage of Agag. And what he wanted to do is he wanted to wipe out all the people, all the Jewish people, because of Mordecai wouldn't bow down to him. Mordecai wasn't of the Persian people. He was a Jewish refugee. He was from God's people. He was an Israelite. And so he wanted to get rid of all of them. And what's crazy is that 6 centuries before, King Saul of God's people had an opportunity to get rid of this curse. But he spared it. And then 6 centuries later, the thing that God told him to kill is now trying to kill him. And I think that's in our lives happening right here today. there's something that happened in a generation before you that's taken out your family. And now the curse has stepped into your family, on your family's doorstep. And you have this opportunity right now. I don't know what that curse is. I know that there's addictions. I know that there's poverty. I know that there's mental health and mental illness that plagues our families. And you might be sitting here wondering, like, why is it me? Why is it my family? And life is so unfair. Haven't you realized how much I've been through already? I mean, from a kid, I've been abused. I've seen abuse happen in our household. I've seen my mother get beat by my father. And now it's happening all around me. My husband's hitting me, and there's all these things happening. Why is this happening to me? Maybe because you're the interruption. It stops with you. God has put you in this room for a reason today. Because he said enough's enough. And I know you're meant for more. And I know you're capable of carrying this mantle on your shoulders, of helping break the generational curse on your family. I know the power that's in you because I created you. I know the strength that you have inside of you because I put it there for you for such a time as this. Right here, right now. But you have to stop sparing the curse. Because the curse comes with a thing that feeds your flesh. The curse will feed your flesh. It will make you feel good inside. It will appeal to you. Look at the reason why Saul spared Agag. Sorry. It's because when you take a king in captivity after a war, it's a trophy. You parade them around town. It feels good. It fed his pride. So the thing that's killing you is feeding into your pride. So we encourage you this morning. I just feel this in my heart. Someone who's been abused. If that's you this morning, it stops here. It stops with you. You can make a difference. I'm sorry that someone before you didn't make that difference. And I'm sorry whatever's happened to you has happened to you. And I'm sorry if you've never heard someone tell you that they're sorry. But you have a God in heaven, a heavenly Father who says, I'm near the broken heart. And if your heart's broken because of your abuse, I'm sorry. God loves you. He sees you. He hears your prayers when no one else does. He sees your cries and he sees your tears when no one else does. So I'm asking this morning, are you willing to give up that thing that you're sparing so it doesn't come generations later and plague your families? I'm not thinking about your kids. I'm thinking about your kids. That today, mom and dad made a choice that I'm not going to let this thing that's been killing my family kill my future family's generations. That I'm saying today, it stops with me. Today, I'm making a difference. Today, for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Come on, that's where revival starts at. It starts in the home.